Ambidextrous chat with Steaze, Bayede Mabuza on the hot seat, you know what it is. Subscribe and get down to the link below. Yes, Black Steaze 51701. Bayede Mabuza. That's another one. 016, 011, stand up. Yeah. Street cafes, my nigga, you know what it is. Yeah. Lord, watch over them real cafes. Them hustle hella discreet, this my field cafes. Yeah, keeping true with the beat of the streets. Lord, I said watch over them real cafes. I said watch over. The reason why we started these chats, man, I started out with my brother out here, thinking about the thing, you know, we were conceptualizing it, and it was like, we kept on having these big ass chats between us, bro, like, okay, you would be hitting something or I'm going through something, and we related as we're making the music and everything, but okay, Jemba Silapa, how do we maneuver this, you know? And that's when I realized, nah man, in South Africa we lack as kids we were taught like you you're a kid so you're not heard, you know, that's an African fable, you know. So that's one of the social dilemmas we want to deal with, you know. We want to bring chats to the table, hence we call them ambidextrous. They come from both sides so we can hear both sides and give a voice to the kids, because we know y'all need a voice out home. Let me introduce you to African Spirit production founder, yeah, Ubuhle Bothando, hit maker, a multi-record making man, a brother, and yeah, a OG in the game, Bayede Mabuza. I would call him by his real name, but he'll fuck me up after this.
Nah, I'm fine. I can't enjoy what I'm down, man. I'm cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me, dog.
No, it's a pleasure, bro. It's a pleasure.
Pull up, man.
It's the first episode to have a big man like you next to me, and a homie. It really means a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Back at home, I know like we have a very small following right now, and it's still building up. But I wanted to help you for the first episode in the sense of Gucci. I'm gonna put my fair another thing on too.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always been just studying you and meeting you in 2019 when you were trying to push something in such a volatile environment in Potch. I mean, we're all here for the studenting side of life, but when you come to Potch, you realize there's no artistic vibe, there's no creative arts, you know. What we do, skateboarding, b-boarding, rap and ciphering, just what Vogish Visuals also brought through with the Vogish group, you know, thrifting, just things like that were never non-existent in Potch, you know. And you were one of the brothers, the pioneers I call it Potch, you know, were trying to come through with that energy, and I just wanted to know, bro, like, what was it in that setting? Because Potch has moved bounds and leaps since then. But I just want to know, what was it like for you at that time?
As you think, like for me, music, it's been in me my whole life. That's all. So good, and the time you linked up with me, so good, very tired kitchen. That's all. So around this company. It's a company and some productions. It does productions and entertainment. It's sort of like does it.
Nah, lock that up. We're gonna keep that for the later part. That's African Spirit is a
let me just put it there.
Follow that shit on YT,
it's African
man.
Spirit, African Spirit Productions. That's a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On IG.
On IG, it's African Spirit Productions.
Are you on Facebook though? I haven't heard you speak
Bayede Mabuza, so yeah, let's just come back. So job engaged
sure,
like lento ngayiqala kuyisikhathi eside kudala. That's one. Umculo kuyinto vele kudala imina. That's one. So the way you experience things when on your side,
right,
it's different. Like compared to indlela nami experience ngayizi. You feel? So ngabe mhlamba wena bonaleyo pressure leyo that mina it's different. Yabo mhlamba ibuka ngendlela ehlukile, sure. Like yazi besingabantu asifani phela ngisho sicinga ngendlela ehlukile. But what I love is that ekugcineni kosuku singabantu. And wasingabantu kanjalo, that connection, that's how we can be able to connect. Being a human, uzazi ukuba ungumuntu. And bawuzazi ukuthi umuntu kuthiwa umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. So if you know yourself that umuntu,
right,
it means usubona omunye umuntu like in front of me as when we chill.
I feel that.
So yeah, I need to look at you first before I look at myself.
Right.
That's how you see existence. It's an ingosu. Impilo ihamba njani. So then nantsika mfethu kuyiqala kwami yeah shit is hard like izinto zibanzima uyafumana kodwa you get like a stage where you learn. Thing engiyithandayo is that you learn. Njengoba usho na ukuthi how did I face leso sikhathi leso? I learned, bro. Like ngiyafunda every time ngiyafunda. I know dog in this music you just need to learn. Akuse yakho learn.
Sure.
That's all. Sure. You found it here.
Right.
Uyithola kwakho la. You found it inside of you. Lento engaphakathi kwena ekutshela ukuthi uzelele. Yafuma. So now mangizoyithola lento ukuthi okay. Nah lento engiyizele. What am I going to do with it? Yafuma. You're playing chess, not checkers.
That's real.
That's real. And the hours
Let's check, not checkers, bro.
So lalela bang. Lento le ukugijima kwa ngalendlela egijima ngayo. That's all. Kuba ukuthi I meet up nengqondo like great minds. That's all. One thing I love about learning, you link up with great minds. That's all. Linking up with those great minds, alignment, my brother. Yonke into very aligned. Like even right now, look at what's going on. Right now, baningi mhlawumbe base bayithatha serious land. Like I know that, and you gotta accept it. There is gonna be something like this. You know you're having like God level traction and you have so much to share. Like share bro. So just that because kunaleyo nto nje kuphela esavalide, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna like feel like you just gotta have to take it.
What do you say the whole time, bro? Like we move.
We move because like we move nakanjani mfethu. So I learned that's how I faced your uncle. Like I still learn, nanamhlanje still learn.
I really still want to know about how did you kick it off? I mean in Potch, bro, I'm talking a volatile situation. This is 2018 and I'm hearing word from Amaro, the strategy with you were pushing something called special sessions.
Yeah.
In middles and this is just Potch Sunday light. I want to speak about Potch session on its own because that's where we kind of aligned and met. Where did it come from special sessions?
Come on. You should have started ngendaba le out Pumap. That's all. Yeah. Come from the eastern boy to Ratanda in Ubuhle. That's where I grew up. That's where I come from. I went Makasana blind and Zumbi.
That's all Ratanda say about we know. Shout out Ratanda. Yeah, man. No 1-6, stand up. That's what's real. Yeah.
So yeah, fun. Cornerstone boys. I bet. But also was
we keep it locked. We keep it locked like it's not.
So yeah, I grew up in Ratanda in Heidelberg. Yeah, ndiyiqolama abezulu kakhulu nabesuthu. So kuneside labezulu nabesuthu, but ngiyithanda nayo.
Makasana.
Ngithola unison, my brother. Every time engiyithanda ngabantu basekhaya we can be able to be in unison in disguise ngendlela esingayiboni. Like thina siyiboni but fucking love each other. That's all. And the leyo nto leyo I still pray nanamhla kumvela inqamo mfethu ukuthi even nama abalalele emakhaya mfethu like there is a time wonke umuntu unesikhathi sakhe siyafika isikhathi for wena. That's all. But now lento ngeke ngayizwa somewhere leso sikhathi basifika what are you gonna do? That's all. Uzoyenzani ngaleso sikhathi basifika? You should know right now khona manje. That's all. Futhi uwazi already ukuthi lesikhathi esinje once sifika lo mnyango nje bawuvuleka ngiyoyenzana la ngaphakathi. That's all. Nokuthi ngiyadlula noma ngizohlala kulelo tafula nje unomphela. That's all. But every time move, educate. Into ongayenza ukufundisa kwabanye, just give education dog. That's all. So into ezingqumile, that's my background dog. That's all. I was educated. Ngumuntu yangile scale. That's all. Like I was average. This girl I was average or whatever.
Sure.
So this girl, this girl.
It's
Nabantu baso. Primary ngifunde eSakhile.
Fuck yeah.
Primary school, yeah.
Do you remember any teachers from there? If you could shout out one teacher.
Yo.
On the musical journey though.
Lo mfana ushuta kanje.
Yeah.
Uhlaba kanje.
Yeah.
Yeah, Linda Machine. What Gilbert Linda Machine.
Shout out.
Baba lo mfethu.
Shout out. Uthama usaphila vele.
Yeah,
Shout out Uthama mfethu.
Shout out.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's gonna watch it.
Dope.
He's gonna watch it.
Bro.
Yeah. So he's a father, dog.
Yeah.
He was a father figure. Like there's so much you can share about me, dog. So there was a part of my life where Itama Lam was not around.
Sure.
That's all. Yeah. So like just like any other nigga, like what's in Makasani, that's all. Sure. It's cool, so mom. That's all. Utando. That's how we know Utando.
Yeah.
How to be a man. It's for
Start there.
That's all.
That's a whole thing.
But now choices in the time. I wanted to come to that part later on, but let me just put it up. For the choices. About to spulawa my choices is what tata.
Sure.
That's all. There's a song I wrote. I say umuntu wesilisa usephenduka isilwane kulo mhlaba. Right. That's all.
Yeah.
Into engayaziyo. Yafumana. Into engayaziyo. Why can't you be a protector?
But don't you think Ubulwane look not deterring from what we're speaking about where you're coming from, bro? I'm not gonna forget where you're coming from.
Sure.
Don't you think we become animals because you have to be animals in the street to make something of yourself, bro? Yeah. Like in the street you have to be real, legend and rough, bro.
Let me add on that. When you become an animal, it's like your animal side wants to take over.
Yeah.
Like to take over
it
everything.
Has to, dog.
But when it does that, you're forgetting the Gucci. Somehow you might even be hurting about the Batanda.
Conscious, that's fine.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's true shit.
Yeah, figure to that point.
That's true shit.
Cause you might be angry outside. Yeah, man. Like we have anger issues, dog. It's not bad. We do have that part in us, but acknowledge it, dog.
Yeah.
That's all. As soon as was just
sure.
It's fine. Let's move on. It's too bang.
Yeah.
That's all. Why must we sit on that shit? Nah, shouldn't be like that, dog. Move on. If you're happy, continue. Continue with that. Choices that you make, dog. And for man, if you're gonna stay angry, then you find the person. You're gonna lose something that you should have cherished, dog. Or you born so late to sing exactly. That's what we need to educate. I listen to people like us Java voice. That's the before I can speak about a big Zoom because he's recent. The kind of that's all like I went in. But us Java I've been dog.
Java, is he taking part? Like, is he shaping the career right now? Is this because this Java I know him from back in the day, bro. Back when he was an actor.
There's something I noticed. Like I don't want to say about musicians, but as me being a musician, I got to a point where I listened more to myself than other people. That's all. Not good big say. Not that it was hard now, but most of the times I would just think about that knowledge now that I already grasped from whoever that I was listening to. Java being cool even now, even today. And what he did and like also to 20 traction it is in like I think it was called the word. Then he's gonna release like his yingo on top of it. Coming forward to Ratanda. Coming forward to Ratanda, but he stays but he's Ratanda right now. But to boy. So he said, did you listen to those songs Javis Z players? He's like, nah, this, because now I haven't been on like social media. I said, Benga follow, Benga. Then he said, nah, play the songs. I'm like, yo. Now I listen to all those tracks and down. There's this one I end with this chick, Ogu Ngomayaga Big Zoo, who moves the same thing. That's all, like they flow. The thing is about me, Joba Nishu, challenge right now. I'm trying to remember. Like I'm a flow but nah, I can't fear. But if I would listen to the song right now, like in this couple is like Yakichi, it just has that. It's African, dog. It's African. Like the melodies rough. Wish to meet those people one day.
You're taking it way too
crazy,
far,
man.
Give me 3 characters from your hood that would say define the person you have become. 3 qualities from a Kaslak. You'd say, okay, I was exposed to this marafere meaning a catalog via choices, as you say.
Like abantu engabasho about abathathu right down. I see big. Bantu abathathu that I can like mention right now.
3 people you
that
can mention
crafted.
that crafted you.
Job Mbuga,
And then 3 qualities you picked up from Ekas Lako.
From Ekas.
Yeah.
Is that Ekas velo already I mentioned down. Bumba.
Sure.
Unison.
Wow,
Unison. Bumba.
Top.
1.
Yeah.
Buntu na ngayifaka lapho kubumba network cause kubambene buntu lo. Afumana. And there's art eKaslam fit.
Sure.
At all. There's art. Me art eKaslam. I come from Ekas and then art.
Yeah, there's lots of shit.
I went to Vienna, Austria, and choir that was called Mabuza Youth Development because of Linda Mashede. Umama Rita, khona umunye futhi bathi uRita Mkhize, umama Mkhize, umem Mkhize, sibiza umem Mkhize.
Sure.
Umem Mkhize, uButhemba.
Yeah.
Like basesikhona ko babhanda. Hey, they are training supply that person, bro. But labo bantu empilweni yami bebanje ane but ithi ngikubalele labo obashoyo nakhona manje. So bowuthi those qualities dog.
Yeah, 3
Bumbano.
Sure.
2, it has to be the art.
Yeah.
Yafuman. Like it's just too clean.
Yeah.
Yafuman. 3, ngibeka 3 yini ngibeka ngikazi jo. Like dog, we have great minds. Gaslam. Yafuman. There are people that can point manje mfethu that are smart. That were smart. Would balimazwa impilo.
Sure.
Yafuman. And now anything enkhawathayo we're gonna come to that leyo kulimazwa impilo. Just remember it unkhumbuze. So those are the qualities there. Uthi lisingaqhubeki kakhulu because le ngiyabuye le lempilo I'm talking about something else. So Zoo 3,
Sure.
those qualities. Engise mention lezo. That's all. Ubumbano, it's the art. Those great minds. That's all. Because bangithi great minds are not only in, excluding ezinye izinto ngeke art kuphela. I'm like including izinto ezibhaya phezukalo nansi efumana lo nto leyo. So those are the qualities ezikhona. That's all. Khona abantu abangaba izinto ezinkulu kulomhlaba dog around eKaslam.
Sure.
Khona who are trying right now uba izinto enkulu because I'm in the music scene. I can speak about this guy. Khona omunye futhi like igama lakhe liyahlaba khona manje. Munye bathu he calls himself King Sweet Kid. That's all. Sure. WaseKaslam. I've seen the guy cool. But I could say sangokola nani but we grew up together. Bengibona lifestyle yakhe perform my old door. There's this place but it's old door in Makassar. When they did it on my event, this big world, multi-purpose. Yeah. So, isn't this benefit to me? Bonile Makasana like Joe, that zikhona dog, bakhona, but it flop. Ukuthi livalelekile. Those were words I heard from maths teacher yami. Sure, got grade 12. Umunye soba wambiza uDiva. Sure. So that guy he said, we were in class dog. I mean, I was like, njoba kutshela you're average. Abantu abaningi bebangayicabanga ukuthi this thing I can think like this. That's all. Like we just trapping nje. Singintwana nje like emaklasini and shit. Nah, lo intwana yini kanje lo. You know, like you're gonna have like separations emaklasini. Lo inhlobo enje, lo inhlobo enje, lo inhlobo enje. But we different. That's one thing I accepted about myself. Ngizalwa kami ngazalwa ngihlukile. Claro. Already that was like a point with now. We're like this accepted impilo izoba nje uqhubeka kuya phambili. Yafumana. So Leo Shandis Leo out eklasini he said mina into kumele ngiyazi ikasi it's like bowl. That's all. Like us is like sisi esigodleleni. And sonke sihlezi nje. And isigodlela sokhona sivalekile kanje like asifuni ukuphuma. That's all. Kumele niphume phumani ikasi and see how other people live outside. That's all. Leo Shandis Leo ntanga yabasoki menhloko damn yeah because I've never went out ikasi besides going to perform. I was like Linda Mashele, that legend, bro, no Keys and my queen. Those people by crafty this art that I have inside of me, it's because of them. That's all. Like yeah, baby vela ngisesemncane singing in my church, my old lady bagang explaining ukuthi ama sign wakho ngithatha ivoice com ngijikise shy, just until that sound until he's pulled. That's all. Those were things bengizenza cool. Or sometimes I want a guitar, can't afford a guitar. Over bokona box amancane kudala angazi nama sekhona. Lama box baphatha ama fruits.
Yeah,
so all the time benokufika
they only see those at the spa, these things.
Stuff, yeah.
They don't know those things.
Yeah, so benokufika ngama box lawo. Then ngithola iplanga ngifaka iplanga elide kanje ngikhiphele ngayo. Ngifake E3 so that I just can have that sound. Wanted a guitar. Would like to draw guitars. Like I had that imagination and shit as I was young. So that's how I knew how to draw it, but I can draw it.
You say that so it's the match teacher. The three qualities I had to pick out. It's unism, right?
Yeah.
It's Ubumbani, so you can fall under one thing. It's the great minds.
Great minds.
It's the creative arts. It's dope. And then as
we
the
come
three
to
people
those three people
crafted you
that
would
crafted
be Mamkiza.
I was just telling you about people that inspired me.
Yeah. I give you three.
Now, all Mamkiza and no Banban, that like I was saying to you, are people that were involved in my life. That's all.
Yeah.
I know, like Jobo mentioned, you're gonna say Lutisha Amlo Diva, that math teacher.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't place them in Leoshandis about 3. That's all. They played like a big shout out to them, like heavy. In my life, they played a big role.
So
that's
who
all.
Would you put
those
in those
people.
Positions
but who I can
put
to that position? Firstly, Oled.
Sure.
Yanfuman. After Oled.
I can relate to that.
Player style. The Oled.
Yeah.
After Oled, Linda Machele.
Sure.
Linda Machele already. He's linked to Umkize, Umamkize, and Bongo, Butemba, and the choir, and that lifestyle, my lifestyle. I will talk about it. Like this guy looks, that's all sure. Kuzoba, we, Yafuman, sure. And that last person, Lord, inspired. It's myself, dog. Yeah.
Now you need to
the last person, it's myself.
Not everybody would say themselves.
I bamba like straight. Because if you want something that's gonna go like deep, old lady's been there, dog. Like she's still there.
Sure.
Yeah, for man.
Sure.
Linda, it's been there. He's still there. There are people in my life who come and leave. And when they leave, I don't hold them. It's because it had to happen. That's all. When they leave, it means we done. Into big milihlanganisi siyenzi. That's all.
Let's just keep
basihlukana khona manje, asihlukane ngomoya omoli. That's all.
The same way we met. Let's keep it like
the same way. Something I want to teach in this love part yabantu. Yafumana. Manzohlukana.
There's no need to ukuthi
hlukana ngoqobo.
I feel that.
Yafumana. Angihlangananga ngembi. Azange ngibangihlangana nawo like I'm angry and shit now. Yafumana. Bangifika ko even if I finesse and shit. Fika kwena I become like a different person now. Now. Don't be real. Every time be real. Anything God.
So we can agree that this music thing came at a cost. There were choices you had to make in the street as Umchita and be like, okay, I want these things for myself, and then this all comes at a personal cost to you, right? And then you were also maybe emphasized many times to get out of the hood, because that's one thing we all taught, like get out of your hometown, go experience a new place, be challenged on your own without you being able to cry mom and dad. Right, cool, great. What would you say was the biggest cost to you on this journey so far? Like in all you've done, like what has been the biggest cost where you go like, fuck bro, but sometimes this shit is taking out of me a lot. What would be
the music, dog?
Yeah.
I told
you. Is it the production of it or the making of it? Because I know you as one nigga.
The music.
Yeah, you perfectionist.
When I say the music, fuck a yonki.
Sure.
Don't exclude
or don't do it at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Performing, trying to get gigs, recording the music, getting proper studios, getting proper marketing. Zonke lezo zinto mfethu. That's all. It comes in mind. I have African spirit. I have African spirit.
I wanted to ask
that African spirit. It's an I thing. It's not. It's
before
an us thing, not an I thing.
Talk to me about like before you African spirit, sure. Because I feel like African spirit was born after you had to go through a certain transition. You might not have seen it, but it was a transition where my brother, you were pushing events one man in Potch. Like I still want to speak about special sessions. 2018 Green Meadows, this is times where, first of all, this is pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So people have other things to do. You're not the target market, or you creating content that's really enticing to the African community is not the thing, because our kids have the mainstream to go to, you know. So what sparks that fire when that's gonna impact people the way that it has impacted people that we've met on this journey? Starting in your special
once you be true to yourself, yonke into iba lula ukuthi you understand ukuya phambili. But you need to acknowledge ukuthi uyofika phambili khona uzoconfuse nyana, but with that mentality ukuthi ngizondlula kuyona.
Sure.
That's all. It's gonna become easier because you're being true to yourself ukuthi yazi ngizondlula la. If nyanya lapha lebumnyami. Efumana lo. So mina this I come from a traditional family. Efumana. Besides the old lady, it's traditional. Ugogo wami may so rest in peace. I know she's resting in peace. Kuningi ngifethe ngikufundile ekhaya. Kuningi engikufundile. That made me acknowledge my true self. It's okay. This is me. There's like ngikhule ngeBhayibheli ekhaya. Olile ngikuse ngeBhayibheli endlini. My spiritual side, that African piece of me, came out uma sengilongikhula. Kunje. Namanje I still learn. Like I learned. I live to learn. Because kuningi ngingakwazi ukuthi yingani ngila kulomhlaba. But already I've found leyo nto leyo, my purpose ngitholile. But still yingani. But I am still doing lento engiyenzayo. Sekhona leyo nto leyo yingani. Show me. That's all. So ngisaqhubha ngaleyo nto. I'm never going to stop that. It's just going to be me.
I want to let you go and speak on about the birth of African spirit and everything, but there's one question that wreaks havoc amongst the African community right now, and I feel like it's because of the Western influence we have on our kids and via izikolo and all that. But how does the duality of spirituality and religiousness, how do we handle that as the generations in? Generations in being anybody born after, I hope I got my facts straight, but it's 90 something.
Let me tell you.
You know, how do you handle that duality with? Because I've been faced many a times where it's do this one thing, but this one thing doesn't help. But when I do the other thing that I don't want to give it names, because now it's gonna be like I'm praising the other and saying this to that. Because I've recently decided to be non-binary when it comes to religion. I don't wanna disrespect people. You wanna check me out like that, bruv? But I don't wanna be disrespectful to people. You know, I wanna like. In fact, your religion is who you are and your choices are who you are. I want to respect and have people in my life because they're genuine people, not because of what they do and their choices.
No way.
You know, because we live in a society that's very volatile. We're very judgmental. You look at a guy and be like, he's not trying hard enough, but have you walked in a mile in these shoes? Could you even walk one step in his shoes? So it's always been that challenge for me. How do we as black brothers, because families have to come out of us, gents. You know, and we need to be real about this, because I've never heard black men sit down around a table and speak about the duality of spirituality and religion. How do we handle that? You know, it's one question. Even when I pose to preachers and pastors, when I bring back the other questions that were the traditional views that actually make sense, they caught lost and unfounded in this shit. You know, so I'm just there like, what do we do as black kids? You know? What do we do, bro?
It's all. Knowledge is a lot of spirits though.
That's true shit.
A lot. That's
true shit.
And never criticize. Never be about what you're not about. We have people who are Amabudu.
Yeah. And you can't judge them niggas for that.
We have people who are much
Niggas just gonna play one move on me.
Sinabo. No, we're still here. It's still chairs, dog. We're playing chairs. It's chairs. See on the checkers.
Sure. Away.
So, that ain't true. Be you. I want you true to yourself. Don't try to get someone else to be on into guyo. When? That's all. Me, I'm the African spirit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you be the African spirit. That's all. They want to fuzi pumek when. That's all. If you come to me, you're a Christian. Dog. Aware, I acknowledge. Born.
Sure.
Asiphile sephambi.
Aye.
Yafumana. It's just that.
Aye.
If you're gonna criticize, asuka.
Fuck.
Asina move. Because I'm not one to criticize you. Who am I?
Real shit.
Even the person that can criticize you doesn't know my God.
Yeah.
Real shit. It's there. You don't know my line. You don't know my clan. I wasn't Puma.
Alright, with that said, right, with that you don't know who we are and you don't know, do you feel that we as black people are in a place to say that we know ourselves? Because we're in a country where we can't look
we on the way. We're on the way.
Oh.
I'm young, dog. I'm only 23. But I know what's in my mind. Leo Shandis Leo, it's there. Ikona, angeke izijike. Uyathola? So kuba indlela yethu. Choices. Siyaphambili. Do you choose to stay blind or do you choose to see?
So it's your choices. What I'm hearing mainly from you, my man, you sound like a man of much reason. Because, dog, I know you have defied many. I pride myself in being one of the few people who can claim to say I'm a multi-hoodpreneur. I lived in many hoods, man. I lived in Cape Town, I lived in PE, I lived in Vaal and in Potch. Now I've been trapping.
Shout out to all those people.
Yeah, I've been trapping east of Tembisa. I've been trapping in Michasile and Makala, you know. We're gonna let a nigga take a call to give a home.
For every time a stone saved my life. Real Kaffers that's on Christ. Chord slang in 4 seconds from the trigger. Moving rock had me feeling nicey. Packing guards that the homies needed back in the 90s. Bring the same rhythm to a first fight. Consciousness on some about to be good. Fuck your plug, I'm in station code. Grandmother gone, shit ain't never been the same. Graduated the street physics my demeanor. Pick my bars up hard, activate Joe, third eye. Modern day slaves in chains. With the saver ease of pain. That's real, that's on God. Praying before I spark my aim blunt. My demons got me again. Questions of how long I
can back again, man. Let's shoot again, Ambidextrous. Chat with Black Steaze. I just said one of Steaze Mabuza. Fuck, nigga. I just fused our names. Fuck. Bayede Mabuza. Your boy Black Steaze. We going at it hot. Bruv, so let's talk about the birth of African Spirit. Productions. I've noticed you don't call it music or poetry, or you don't define it. You just called it productions. What is that, my brother?
So African Spirit Production, it was established in 2018.
Right.
That's all. So, you were doing events by yourself. Nah, it was not by myself. Yabona, wonke umuntu phezulu mfethu. Akutshela ukuthi fike la by myself. Nama.
Sure.
People bakufike.
So at the time, who you
there is a background where that's all. So on the production side, like when I came here, I was staying in Engapemhlope, so ngasemarobotini. That's all. So leyo ndawo leyo mfethu ngifike ngabheka indawo like ispace esinjani, then that idea came into mind. There was nothing like that going on as yet. Like mina engiyaziyo, but there was izinto ezenzakalayo, but mina bengazi at all. So after isikhashanyana esimbala, I linked up njoba ngisho ukuthi there are people that come empilweni for isizathu abafika sofika isikhathi that they have to leave at all. If isifika isikhathi esijalo badedele ngomoya at all leyo nto leyo. So bakhona abambe bafika kungukuthi ngivuke umqondo njalo. So there was a time, there's this guy called Kalo.
Yeah, keep it moving.
This is a song called
Fuck yeah, dog. Legend, we know that.
Dog. So he came, down.
Yeah.
We were chilling. Cool. So Beda, they played ingoma, konumumfe to our Udi.
Yeah.
So we ingoma, then he did something on top, then like umfethu amjewuthi like siyacula so. So for me it was like, hey, like this guy's big, bro. It's when yo. So my things are share up with beats in the outie, and that guy's deja look should not even This is like Joe, it's an achievement in a way.
Yeah.
It's on. So I let's okay, never calling pen. Words that I kept from Leo out Leo. He said, hey bro, you're heavy, Joe. So why don't you do it? I'm fine. That young lady was like, yeah, that's all. Like lula the way I show and and I'm still a first year studying music here, and I wanna be big. That's all. But at the end of the day, I realized, like, screw being big, bro. That's all. As long as I learn and educate as well. Because benguyo leyo system yokufunda. That's all. But I don't want it this way.
Okay.
Ngifuna ngale ndlela. Let me run, like, psychologically in a way.
I feel.
That's all.
Feel.
Ayibe leyo nto leyo.
So when what gave birth to an African spirit as your? What gave birth to that, and what does it breed from? Like, what is its aim? Where are we going with this notion? What is
spirit, bro. African spirit, yes, zisho now. That's all. Like, I don't have to explain it. That's all. Already, it explains itself without it even having to be loud.
Right.
That's all. Just silent African spirit. That's all. Sure. It doesn't have to be in Denku. But already when umungayicabanga like Jula. It's big.
So you would say it's formless.
So Jonga Bengule choir, the choir that I was in, Lebe, Ono, Linda Machele and Mamkizi. That's all. That choir it groomed that side of me. I was doing classical music or opera. That's all. Sure, I was doing opera. That's all. Ingoma Jambo. What is this now? Kabang, the way it's being sung so cool, like damn, when there's a lot of art, so call you part Abu Ombra Maifu. It's bad. Or Ombra Maifu or Cheletera. That's all. Those were pieces I was doing. Low Kakdala isn't any food. Sure. For man, like I'm brave. I was even doing about my bass, and I was singing Eternal. So my vocals were doing this every versatile time. But for me, I was like, nah, I want tenor. I want to sing high. I want high notes. Yeah. So that's why that sweet voice, you build it. And so according to science, they say the more you do it, the more
you perfect something.
That's all. Sure. So the more I did it, the more it grew.
Right.
That's all. Even the mind, it's still growing. So that African spirit already sengihlonipha abadala mfethu. Bangithi abadala, I don't specify ukuthi abadala bami ubaba.
Okay.
That's all. Sure. Abadala lelizwe. That's all. If I go deep mfethu, khona ebaqolela ukuthi impilo engcono and impilo like ukufa kungcono nangu impilo engiphilayo.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Death is better than this life that I'm living.
Oh, you fucking.
That's all.
Yeah.
Ngixolela ukuthi ngiwe kulomkhumbi.
That's cool.
I'd rather throw myself in the sea. That's all.
Sure.
Khona that's what I was told my old lady. Khona ebashona ebasweleka mfethu eintabeni.
Yeah.
Khuleka ngabo lapho. Bahlangana. That's all. Bazi ukuba abalahlwanga. Babaningi mfethu ngaphandle abalahliwe. That's all. But mele bazi ukuthi abalahlwanga. Cause kubona baziva abalahliwe.
That's deep shit.
Kodwa abalahlwanga.
That's true shit.
So they need to remember that.
So it's 2018, bro.
That's all. 2018 African spirit Uganda. Why? Khona umfethu bengihlala naye.
What's the biggest?
That was my second year like the varsity.
Okay.
So khona umfethu benginaye kuthiwa ubafu Wandile introduced me to a guy called Steaze. Yahlala in McLaren, was doing events as well. And I had an idea of event in Hlano Bafu. Every time I used to use studying in law. Bafu, something like this. Okay, Bafu, okay, now there's Usui. How can I forget Usui? We used to do visuals. Usui, yeah, box. That's all. So we used to move, but there were people who were in the art space, and ideas would come. Like how we're doing right now, it's fusing minds. That's how you get real power. That's how you sit. Fuse those minds. That's all. To bring out that project or whatever product in Ifuna. Fuse those minds. I'm talking. Sure. Excellence. I'm full to abantu abamnyama but excellence. Alright.
So
2018.
I'm still working on
my second year.
Yeah.
Uqala kwami African spirit. It was like special sessions. Kumina emqondo bongakajule into African like ngizoyifaka vele like deep African straight. It's just special sessions. It's just gonna be those special sessions where you see my African designs.
So who would be on your lineup?
So there was a place by town. So like in the lineup. You mean people that say
2018, who would you have typically in your lineup? Like
abantu bebakhona
Yeah, like
musicians.
or let's say maybe the tangible work of like what would you say we as the Special Sessions gang came out? Because 2019 gave you Ubuhle Bothando. We all know that.
Sure.
Yeah, and then
Alright.
I would say late 2019 gave you your EP.
It's
I know
sure.
Ukukanya
It's
EP.
the story. It's the story. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
Joba Niti, there was a place by town. We did an event there. That's all. I was with Umfe Tubafo, with two sticks. That's when the universe, dog. I love the universe. I met the guy Kelo the year before, like my first year. I met Kelo. Then we just did Leo Shandi Sangoma. Then why don't you do it? Then the following year I was doing it. They told Leon and I just realized Leon your mind's tripping. So last year we did an event and like it was fortunate. Begala put Leon down. That place, we were setting up. There were people just blooming somewhere there, but we didn't know Kelo was there. That's all. We set up there. People that we invited, they came. We expressed what we wanted to show. We share love every day. That's all. That's all. It has to be for love, nothing else. That's all. So when we did that event in move and wow,
This
I
was
know it's
2020.
it's not
Nigga, you
2020, it
skip.
was 2018. Still 2018, we're still there. And it's 2017 I met him in my first year.
You were having your own events.
Then 2018 it
Yeah.
was that first event.
Alright.
That's all.
That's the
Sure.
first one. You only had one the whole year.
That was the first event.
Alright.
That's the only event that we did events. I just can't remember. I can't recall because I lose
So
track.
that's the one that
But
actually
that
held traction.
is Yashal.
Alright.
That's all. Sure.
2018 ends. When do you start writing Ubuhle Bothando? I don't know. Don't tell me about when you start recording it and what we see of it now, but when do you start writing that? And who are you writing to, dude? That wording is just too much, man. I want to pull up a few words. In the second verse, you go, Umang Nketa Wento. Tell me if I'm wrong, bro. Like, Umang Nketa Wento. Yeah. This is Betty's Fubanga.
Impela ndazilukhetha ngoba ngiphethe wena ntombi.
What? Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Who you writing that to?
It's
Like,
crazy, bro.
who you writing that to, dog?
There was something
Someone.
There was someone
Yeah.
I was talking
Dog,
to
yeah.
like recently, so I was sort of like telling the person about the song.
Is it the lady? Is it
It's
the lady?
crazy.
Is it the lady we see in the video?
So I'm like, it's crazy that
Are you gonna mind?
what?
Is it the lady we see in the video?
It's crazy. But no. So there was a person I was talking to recently. That's why.
Situation shit.
So no, it's not a situation shit. Like.
Hey, it's a car like
That's the change of it. Yakwazi uhlala nomuntu who's like a good listener. Then you express some other things that you're not able to talk to. That's all. I'm like shit. You know, I know one day the world is gonna know the song. That's all. It's something that like Engi and I know it is gonna give me. But though it's small.
It's not small, bro. Look at the
It's
numbers.
the
Run that
same
shit
way
up on YT.
You're being raised.
Where do you have that shit on? Oh, you have that shit on your African
Still
spreadsheet.
no digital
Eba
platforms.
mamela on Apple, Spotify, when I audio mac, anganda butu 7 sound strip. Fagaza linda ba ye. Ubuhle Bothando Bayede Mabuza. Check out 2019 if you ask me. That's the shit. Ndona, you create this beauty and you start what would start my rapping career again. With the first edition. I don't know if you remember it. We had Kodani's place. Shout out to Ndona. You know what it is, my boy. We had Kodani's place. We all gathered there. Voguish Visuals on Instagram still has fucking tag pictures on that shit. Check that shit out. But we were there, Sisonke, and I was just rhyming with Bantu Bigo in the back. It's June 16. Homie was shooting. Who am I? What the fuck, bro? What were you thinking creating that atmosphere?
I don't know, man. Like, it just comes to me. It just comes to me. Legit. It's just one of those, dude.
I want to ask.
I can't explain it.
There's a couple of songs. I'm on Bothando side. Kids on Tower. Piano track. It's coming soon. If you don't know about it, stay over. Can you give me like a rundown of your favorite projects? How many projects do you have out currently?
It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. I can't say Zunga, but people should expect.
So you're producing, but we should go up and Let's talk about what you've been working on lately. You seeing this nigga? We're shooting late Potch 29th, but it's 7:30 in the evening. We shoot it. We both about to leave this bitch for a bit to run some personal errands. What do you have to say about the content you're creating as we're coming to close of this interview? Currently, what do you have to say about the state of mind where you at? If you had to speak to a young come up and try to build this thing, what would you say?
Essentially, I've been saying it throughout the interview.
Sure.
Be true.
Sure.
At all. Right. So long up here.
Sure.
Be clear. Sure.
Sure, man. I thought I'm facing in the next 5 years, what we can expect from you. So, are you trying to start something? Because I know you have some deep plans.
I'm going to be still doing the same thing, but bigger.
So we're moving.
Moving.
So this is Potch Sundays on 2 times, twice as much. Check out all the editions we have. How many editions do you have about Potch Sundays now? 4?
Asanda.
We still counting. It's been your boy Black Steaze on the first episode of Ambidextrous Chat with Black Steaze. Bayede Mabuza is my fucking guest. Siyabulela ngokudibana namatyani man yabo sihleli phansi yabo. Senze into fanele basiyenze teaching the youth what they should know. You know. Shout out to all that tuned in. Subscribe, tell your friends about this, tell your mom about this. Because we speak about real shit. I know I'm smoking weed, but you know what the G does.
On my right to guess all the times I faced death finally paying off. Live it all in a vocal proof. They probably gonna kill me for spitting their known truths. Black boy dreams, get on my side schemes. Since 9th grade, rebelling's what I did best. Renegade on the low, let them spread hate. One love to all my dogs. Real ghetto dreams started down at the corner store. Homies were hungry as shit. Spark just to release. Maybe just find some peace. Just another one from the east. Left the kid.